Let me ask you a question that a lot of people consider as very uncomfortable. So if you stopped working today, what still pays you? I mean, if you stop working, not next week, not next month, not next year, like if you stopped working right now,
Yeah.
as we are speaking, your form of active income just stops. Will your life continue to be producing you money, or do you have anything that will be producing you money in the time to come?
Absolutely. And that's a very, again, like you said, uncomfortable question, and a question that a lot of people don't like to, especially around this part of the
Part of the
world.
world.
Yeah, they say, God forbid, God forbid. But
Yeah.
these are valid questions. If you stop working today, what happens next? And, that question alone exposes the difference between income and assets. I mean, we've talked a bit about this
Yeah.
this week, but it's not out of place to emphasize this, right? It talks about the difference, literally just shows and exposes the difference between income and asset. Because many people earn money, but actually very few people are building something. They are building something that will continue to pay them. And I think, again, that's why we're having this type of conversations. I think it's just a matter of knowledge. Like, just have an idea about this. And a lot of people are simply just surviving only on effort. That is, if without your effort, you're not going to have an income. That means that if they stop working, Roy, today, money just stops coming in. And that's very risky, right? Because um, jobs can end. I've seen that happen several and over again. Businesses can slow down. Life can just, have an unexpected, turn or throw you a curve ball. Then what happens next?
Exactly. So now we're going to talk more, we're going to dwell more on assets. So what exactly is an asset? Simply put, an asset is anything that you own that continues to bring value into your life. Some people would say that brings money into your life. You can interchange the money or value, but it's something that you own that constantly brings money into your life.
Yes.
Even after you've done the original work, even after you've put in work, even after you can't work in quotes again,
Exactly.
it keeps bringing in the money. And the best analogy that always comes to mind for this is that of a tree.
Yeah.
Something you plant once that keeps bringing in returns. But however, it's important to note that asset doesn't come overnight, it's always built.
Exactly.
So for that tree, you don't just plant it and rest. You come to water it. There's a seedling stage, you water it, keep watering. But after some time, it begins producing fruit, which is now money or value again and again and again.
Absolutely. And like the analogy of the tree, I mean, a tree that bears fruit over and over, sometimes it doesn't happen overnight, most times it doesn't happen overnight. And the ones that even happen within a short period of time, like corn, it dries up too fast. It just dry up and die.
Once you harvest, it
dies, and then you now start again all over again. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's the analogy of tree and fruit. I think that's one of the best, because these fruits just keep feeding you. There's this very big mango tree in my dad's compound in the village, and it just keeps having fruit. Like, it just keeps coming. Every season, the thing will build. It's so big, and imagine what can actually kill that thing. Because even if you don't water itself sometime right now, it's just yielding, right? And that is what assets do, right? That is what assets do. Initially, it feels like a lot of work. It feels like, this thing is taking a lot of time, but that is what it is. It continues to, because it's of value. Everything of value actually takes time. Yeah, if it's not of value, it won't take that much time. And some practical examples of assets, as it were. And by the way, our conversation today is basically around assets, like, because the last conversation we talked about how to make money even after you stop working, and we mentioned assets slightly, but today we're just delving in a little more on assets. And here are some practical examples. So rental properties are assets. Beautiful assets, because the tenants keep paying you. They will keep. There's no how you have a rental. Just imagine a rental property in the middle of Wuyi. There's almost no how that it will be empty. In fact, I even feel like there are more people looking to rent than the houses available. So yeah, rental property is a typical example of assets. Land too. Land growing in areas that could become valuable over time. that in itself is an example of an asset. How it's not necessarily a cash flow asset like right now, except you convert it to that, maybe lease the land out or something. But in the meantime, that is there.
It's an asset.
It's an asset because land always increases in value, at least in this part of the world, right? And a business that runs properly, a business that has a structure.
That has a structure.
That has a structure.
Yeah.
Not a business that is employing you.
That
you're the business. Everything is just tied around you. And so a business that has a structure is an asset in itself because it just keeps generating income over and over again. There's one business. There's this St. Louis sugar. Okay. I think since I was born, that thing has been there.
Yes.
And I'm wondering who the owner is.
Yes.
Right. And it just keeps. It's just there. Like if you just go to some stores, you just sit hanging there. And I'm wondering, does this thing just stay here permanently?
Yeah.
And a couple other things, right? So businesses that run properly on structure is an asset. Then investments too, right? Investments. And that's where people just misunderstand the whole essence of assets. They feel like, I have to get to the point where I have an investment before I have an asset.
Yes.
Investments are simply things that you put money in and you have passive income. Like you don't necessarily work in the thing. Exactly. You may buy a share of Cadbury, of Nestle, of First Bank, and you don't necessarily work in the thing, but that thing pays you dividends and dividends. But and that's where people get it wrong because it just once they hear assets, their mind is just investment. So they have to have a lot of money to invest in those kind of things. And no, we just mentioned a few. Even a business that's starting out but paying you over time is an asset. Then a valuable skill. A valuable skill is an asset as well. So you see that at every point you are, there's something you can do to start generating income or to start planning around when you don't have active income any longer.
There's something you said about investments, and a lot of people get wrong. And in this conversation, we can address that too. A lot of people think investments is big money you put in one time. And a lot of people also have that kind of mindset with assets. They think assets must be expensive. They feel like an asset must be something worth 2 billion. You understand? Like it's not always like that.
Yeah.
You see, and also not every expensive thing is an asset.
Exactly.
Not every expensive thing is an asset. A car that you cannot maintain is not an asset. It's draining you. Luxury spending that only drains your pocket. It's not an asset. Someone said because you've studied and you know that Rolex watches are always going to be of value anywhere in the world. You gotta spend everything to get a Rolex watch. It is well with you. Luxury spending without a plan is not an asset. It is not an asset. If it constantly takes money from you without plan, it is not an asset.
Exactly.
Right? It's a liability. Like simply how I understood assets and liability from childhood is what brings in money, assets, what takes away the money, liability, right? Simple as that. So if you're constantly giving away the money, bro, it is not an asset.
Yes.
Right? So assets are meant to help you increase your lifestyle in the long run, right? And there are things you build, like you say, it's not just something that happens overnight.
Yes.
So for every increase in income that creates more expenses, it is not an asset. Assets should help you grow towards freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything that puts money in your pocket, asset. Anything that takes money out of your pocket, liability, right? That's basically that. But the interesting thing before we go on is that most times assets may not even pay you like immediately.
Yes.
Most times, right? You just keep watering and watering, like the Chinese bamboo. You water for like 5 years.
You're not seeing anything. But then when it comes
out, and this is why some people earn a lot of money but are still financially pressured because we have built consumption habits over time. And these things are not taught in school, they're not taught in schools, and most of our parents don't even know them. Most of the adults in our lives, they didn't know these things whilst growing up, and so they always teach you that, go to school, get good grades so that you can get a good job and pay your bills.
Yes.
So they are just ramming consumption into your mind only, right? And that is the issue because we've built consumption habits instead of building systems. Instead of just imagine that from day one, from the day you even walked into the university, you started thinking of building systems, building assets. Just think about it. Like then you went to NYSC, that whole 1 year. Yeah, I was paid 19.8 in my time, right? I think shortly after, I was paid 19.8. Then you moved to 33. Now it's 77. Exactly. Just imagine that you were at that stage. You start thinking assets. Start thinking of intellectual property that can form assets. Think about it. Where would you be by now? Right? So let's talk briefly as we wrap up around how do we actually build these things, assets? How do you build assets? I think the first thing you must know is you must stop spending all the money you earn. Simple. Like there's no other way around it. If you can't save when you're earning 100K, you're not going to save when you're earning 100 million. Simple. Let's not even deceive ourselves. Simple. That's what it is, right? Sometimes I used to ask myself that, okay, what if this money was not here? Yeah. Right? Like, what if it wasn't here? What would you have done? You'd have still lived your life anyways. You'd have still honestly. And this is the beginning. Just stop spending everything you earn. So that whenever money enters your hands, you need to train yourself to divide it. Like right from the get-go, just divide it. Train yourself to divide it. One part goes for living expenses. Of course, you can even decide that half of it goes on, or even a little above half goes on living expenses. You must survive. That person will survive. The later enjoy. Exactly. You must survive. You must be able to think good. Exactly. One of my mentors says he cannot stay when he travels. He cannot stay in hotels that are lower than the standard of his house. Like whatever hotel he goes to, and his house is beautiful. Okay. Okay. All white sheets, all white wall, beautiful house, right? But he can not stay in a hotel that is lower than the standard of his house. And it makes sense because he's trying to stay in environments that help him make more money. This guy has let's say slightly over 50, maybe it's like close to 100 different rental properties in the city of Lagos alone. That's a lot. So you can't even compare. That's a lot. Right? So a part of it goes to living, a part of it goes to saving, and most importantly, a part must go to building assets. Very, very, very true. Second thing we're looking at is to build assets is start small. Very important. You have to start small. Start with where you are. We mentioned valuable skills. We mentioned a couple of things earlier. You must start with where you are, because many people never start, like we mentioned, because they feel they need millions, billions. Yes. No. Assets, just like wealth, is built little by little. So you have to put it one block upon the other. Keep just placing blocks consistently over a period of time, and then just like that, after a while, you can confidently say you have built an asset. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. That's how assets are actually built. It's just consistency, little steps at a time, Yeah. And then number three thing we must learn or to do in order to build assets is to be patient. We must learn patience. Patience is not something that, I don't think it's a virtue that just fall on top all of us. Not like me. I think sometimes I can be very impatient, right? But patience are things, patience, you must learn patience. In fact, you must marry patience. Because assets usually grow slowly at first. They grow, it's just like compounding interest. Somebody says, I want to give you 100 million naira today, but someone else says, I want to give you 1,000 naira every day for the next 10 years. Like compounding interest. Every day is doubling. Okay, someone says I'll double your 1,000 every day for the next 10 years. Another person says I'll give you 100 million today. Which will you go for? Compound interest. Compound interest. Of course. Right. So that is the mindset of asset. Asset builds over time. So we must learn to be patient, because when the seed is on the ground, and when you plant the seed, it goes deep. It goes down first before it comes up, right? It goes down to collect, to bear roots, to be able to hold the stem that comes up, right? So patience is key in building assets. The fourth one is you have to learn before you invest. Whatever area you want to invest in, you have to learn about that type. You don't just go blindly. Oh, they say, it's crypto. Say, hey, crypto. Jump in. You go, you will jump in and land with your head instead of your feet. Learning helps you land on your feet and not on your head. So you have to study, ask questions, right? You have to understand what you're putting money into.
everything. You don't just plant it. See, when you're planting that, you have to know how that seed grows.
Yes.
The soil that's good for it, all of that. I
Mm.
mean, I feel everybody that wants to access should understand a little bit of agriculture.
Abi.
I think you should. And finally, you have to think long term.
Yes.
Right? Because everything starts with how you think.
Yeah.
Emphasis there, think before long term.
Yes.
Everything starts from the mind, your mindset. Your mindset is just a collection of your attitude, habits, and things you believe over a long period of time. So it's not about just the feelings, about how you think.
Yes.
Because every asset comes over a period of time. So you have to be able to think long term.
Absolutely.
Start asking what can make me money right now financially, and even if it's steadily over a period of time. That is the way the wealthy people think. That is the way we think, right?
Absolutely.
That's the way we think. Because today's income will build tomorrow's freedom. That's how it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one powerful thing, even as we wrap up today, about assets is this: they help you buy back your time. Time is your most valuable resource. Time is your most valuable resource. It helps you reduce pressure. You know how you get to a point that you don't have to think about your bills. You just automate it and start thinking about another thing. Like, that is what assets help you do. It helps you create options as well, right? And that is the real goal. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is actually to be financially independent, right? That to get to the point where sincerely, and this has really nothing to do with the size of your bank account, in my opinion. It just has everything to do with money coming in enough to offset your bills for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
That's all. Like, the figure there does not really matter necessarily. It's just the idea that, okay, this thing is just coming in and it's just going to sort this, it's going to sort this. Do you get, like, that kind of thing? That's freedom right there, And then the simple thing for us to do today is to just start, right? First of all, start from the number one, from the top of everything. Start by tracking where your money goes. Start from there. That's it. Track that and build over time, right?
Number two is you have to quit unnecessary spending, reduce unnecessary spending. Yes, you're going to spend from time to time that is not planned, but as much as you can, reduce unnecessary spending, especially on ones that are tagged enjoyment.
Yes.
You have to reduce that. Number three, you have to choose one asset building goal. It's not just saving towards something unplanned for you. Don't just say, okay, I'm saving to build an asset that is unnamed. When you name the asset, it helps you know if you're putting in the right money.
Exactly.
It could be saving towards land, starting a small business, learning a high skill income. This will let you know how much you should be setting aside towards that. And as you're setting aside, don't be that kind of person that sets aside for 2 months, the third month, say, oh, let's flex this month. That brings us to number 4. Stay consistent. If you're going to build towards the goal, let the goal be the goal. Don't cut short halfway and say, you know what, let me take vacay in Maldives and come back. The goal will not be achieved. You have to stay consistent because every progress counts, and consistency builds momentum enough to actually build that asset.
Absolutely. And these are action plans for you. And number 5, which is the final point here, is just be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. I understand also that, like I said earlier, a lot of us did not have this knowledge on time. So it will take you a while, to build this thing. Wealth is usually built slowly because before it becomes visible. It takes time. Like, you take it gradually. Don't have pressure. Don't allow, all those status pressure, all those peer pressure, to deter you. So you ask yourself honestly ask yourself, if I stop working today, what still pays me? And this is an honest conversation. You can lie to every other person, but you can't lie to yourself.
You can't lie to yourself.
So if this conversation helped you, again, just a quick recap of the action plans we just talked about right now. Number 1, please track where your money goes. These are action plans for you today. Track where your money goes. Number 2, reduce unnecessary spending as much as possible. Number 3, choose, one asset building goal. Like you rightly said, tag that saving to an asset. This is what I'm saving for. Some people say for a rainy day, but no, you're going to do differently today because you have learned. So save towards a particular asset building goal. Number 4, stay consistent, right? Build momentum. And then number 5, just simply be patient with yourself. I hope this helped you. We actually hope you got value from this today. If you did, please like this video, share it with family, friends. If there's any contribution or takeaways or subtraction you want to do to our conversation today, kindly leave us a comment. We'd like to read from you. Subscribe to the channel so you can see this type of videos from time to time. Till we come your way again. Enjoy a fantastic day.